In this series, we are going to evaluate the risks that Achill's coastline faces today and in the near future. The low-lying bays and rocky cliffs of Achill face the might of the Atlantic every day. The people and the wildlife that live there are accustomed to the wild weather. However, the Earth's climate is changing, and this will pose challenges to both the natural world and ourselves. Scientists predict that as the Earth warms, sea level will rise globally and there will be an increase in the strength and frequency of storms. This is of particular concern for islands such as Achill that already suffer from flooding, damaging winds and coastal erosion. A common method for assessing the vulnerability of coastlines and the communities that live there is the DPSIR framework. This acronym stands for Drivers, Pressures, State, Impact and Response. This first video is assessing the drivers and pressures. Using this framework, we identify climate change as the driver of the risks to Achill's coastline. The pressure that results from climate change is sea level rise, though what is of immediate concern to Achill is the threat of heightened sea levels during storms. An increase in the number of more extreme storm events with high storm surges can cause damage onshore to houses, habitats and the coastline itself through flooding and erosion. A storm surge occurs when high winds push seawater towards the coast, causing the level to rise. If this happens at high tide, then the effects are magnified. The diagram here illustrates the dangers of storm surge. The figure on the right shows a potential increase of storm surge when at low tide. However, a similar strength storm can be far more destructive if it occurs at a high tide. The high rainfall events that often occur with storms can add to the pressure of raised sea levels. An example of this was Hurricane Katrina, where a storm surge coincided with high tides and low pressures, causing extensive damage to New Orleans and the loss of many lives. Tourism is an important part of life on Achill, and the infrastructure there reflects that. Houses, hotels and leisure facilities are typically close to the coast, and this puts them at risk. The pressures of coastal development affects the natural dune system, and this can lessen the ability of the coastline to absorb the damage from a storm. In our next video, we will look at the state and impacts of these pressures on Achill.